Hey guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. But in case this is the first time you're stopping by, my name is Gina and I'm a wife and mother from the Midwest, and I enjoy cooking fresh meals for my family, and sometimes I make videos of my recipes and I share them here on YouTube. Today I am going to be making a highly requested video for Enchiladas Rojos. I am making these in Estilo, Michoacan. My husband is from Morelia, Michoacan, and they make their enchiladas with a topping of boiled carrots and potatoes. So it's a little bit different. We're going to be filling them with queso fresco and chopped white onion, and then a traditional, very simple enchilada sauce made with dried chile guajillo and chile ancho. We're going to be topping it with the queso fresco as well, and a little bit of shredded lettuce. And this is very easy to make. It's just a little bit of time consuming and uses kind of a lot of dishes, I'm not gonna lie. So that's kind of why I don't make it that often, but it's definitely worth it. So I guess without further ado, let's jump into our ingredients. We're going to need corn tortillas, and for this version you absolutely have to have corn tortillas. We are going to be frying these before we dip them into the enchilada sauce. So the flour tortillas just don't hold up the same way. I feel like they would get mushy, and just skip the flour tortillas on this recipe, guys. Trust me on this one. Then we're going to need some chile guajillo. These come in a bag in the dried spices section of your grocer if they have like ethnic foods. These are a very mild pepper. They're delicious, they're full-bodied, and they're not very spicy at all. We're also going to be using chile ancho, and once I take these out, you'll see they're very leathery. They have a flavor of almost like a spiced raisin to me in a way, because they have this like smoky sweet quality, but they are also not very spicy. So this sauce, even though we will be making it from a lot of dried peppers, is not very spicy in regards to heat. We are going to be seasoning this simple sauce up with caldo de pollo or nor suiza, which is powdered chicken bouillon. But if you don't have this or have access to it, you can substitute it for salt. It's no problem at all. And you can also use chicken stock in your sauce if you prefer. And then for the seasoning, it's just some oregano and some pepper, because this is where our salt is coming from. As I mentioned, oh, and we're gonna obviously have some garlic in there. Sorry guys, I almost missed that. In regards to the filling, we're gonna be filling ours with queso fresco, which is a Mexican crumbling cheese. It's like a farmer's cheese type of cheese. And then some chopped white onion. And then on top, we're going to put the boiled carrots and potatoes, and a little bit of shredded lettuce and some extra cheese, because everybody likes cheese. You are also going to need some oil. So I have canola oil today. You could use vegetable oil, corn oil, anything with a high smoke point, because we are going to be frying our tortillas. And lastly, this is my first product placement video I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using this dice and shred and slice vegetable chopper, which was sent to me from an Amazon entrepreneur. So we're going to see how that works out. I will put a link below in the description to where you can purchase this product if you want. I was not paid to place this product in my video. I was just given the product free of charge to test for you guys. So this will be my real reaction, and we'll see how it goes. I generally prefer to chop things by hand, but the videos of this thing looked pretty cool, so we'll check it out. I'm going to go ahead and crumble my cheese, get some water on so we can chop our carrots and our potatoes using said chopper. And we're probably going to use it to shred the lettuce as well. And cut the onions. So let me just kind of get everything prepped. I have to peel these things in some way, because somehow I lost my stupid vegetable peeler. I don't even know how that happened, but it happened. Anyways, give me a second. I'll be back, guys. All right, guys. So here we go. Here we have our chop box. I noticed that it has some type of a grating attachment here. On the side, it comes with a strainer, several other grating and like spiralizing and shredding attachments, and the mandolin handle, in the event that you were going to use this as a mandolin, which we may or may not. This is going to be my first test on this. I've never used this. For someone like me who really likes accuracy on thickness of your vegetables, I don't know if this is going to be the product for you, just based right off the bat of looking at it. Mostly just because I've had to like cut the potatoes into the thickness that I want them, and also into a very small square to stick on here. But if you're someone who is not really comfortable with their knife skills, this is going to be a fantastic product for you. So if you're a beginner or you're not comfortable with sharp knives let's see how it works. So I have our potato here, about a 1/2 inch of thickness. I am putting it on the chopping blade, and let's see if I can do it with one hand. Boom. Very nice, actually. Pretty nice, guys. Let's see what happens if we put something too big on it. Worked out okay. Let's just toss those little chunks. And this one, let's cut it so we don't waste any tater. I'm going to open it up and show you guys in a second what it looks like inside of there. These are, okay, you know what? I actually changed my mind. These are really uniform cubes, and I really like it. So, all right, I've changed my opinion on the product already. For the carrots, I'm going to go ahead and half them lengthwise really quick and then cut them into manageable size squares to show you how it works on a carrot, because carrot is a much harder vegetable. Okay. Also, side note, don't try to peel carrots without a vegetable peeler. It was a hot mess. Like, I actually murdered a carrot. He didn't survive for the video. Let's see how many I can stack in here, just for fun. So this is almost a whole carrot. I'm a little scared. So it was harder to cut through, but it still worked. So let me go ahead and chop through the rest of the carrots and the potatoes, and I'll be back and we'll test it out on our onions and on our lettuce. All right, guys, so now that I've got our carrots and our potatoes all chopped up, and I hope you like how bright it is in here. We changed our light fixtures to daylight, and I feel like it's just, you guys can see so much more. Sorry, I got way too excited about that. Anyways, so next thing you're going to do is just transfer your veggies onto your floor and into your pan. And then geez, Gina. See how our mix is of carrots and potatoes. I wanted a little bit more carrot in there, to be completely honest. But I'm not about to peel another carrot because I got to get a vegetable peeler. And I can't stress enough how annoying that was. All right, whatever. We're going to pretend like there's not stuff all over my counter right now. We're going to go ahead and come to the sink, and we're going to fill, just to cover these potatoes and carrots, with cold water. And we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt to the boiling water. And then we're going to bring this to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it probably for, I don't know, about 5 minutes once it's boiling. So they're like not tender crisp, but they're tender, but they're still pretty solid. So let me go ahead and get this on medium-high heat. I'm going to pop that teaspoon of salt in there, and then I'll be back. All right, friends. So I'm back here at my chopping station. I just wanted to show you how easy this is to remove. So this is the larger square cuadritos that I used for the carrots and potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. Apparently it's dishwasher safe, which is great. And I'm changing over to this much smaller dice for our onions. And I'm going to have to cut the onions in half. So hang on, I didn't think about that. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I cut our onions in half, and they have both the root and the stem, if you will, end removed. This is going to be our make it or break it test for this device for me, because you guys know I'm extremely particular about how I have my vegetables chopped, and I feel like my knife skills are pretty darn good. Like, for me, this is great. It's convenient, and the shapes are beautiful that it's cutting out, but I can chop really fast, so I don't know if this is exactly time effective for me. So let's see, A, if it can cut through this entire half of an onion, and let's see, B, if I'm going to have to recut it, because I want it to be really fine. Okay, it went straight through that half of an onion. See if it can focus. Okay, guys, I'm low-key shook. Low-key shook, guys. I think that's pretty good, actually. I might go through it with a knife just to break them up a little bit. But let's see. I feel like I'm going to damage it by pushing this hard, but... Oops. Made a boo-boo? Yeah, didn't go all the way through on that one. That's okay. Oh, it has this little thingamabobber that clears it out. So, I'm actually pretty happy with that, guys. It's not leaving any chunks of onion like as half moon shapes or anything like that. It's just passing through. It didn't bend the little grate thingy. All right. That one went straight through again. Okay, awesome, guys. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out. We're going to chop up our garnishes. Give me a second. Okay, guys, so I have our lettuce. We're just going to shred it. I didn't intend to demonstrate this much in this video, but I've never done a product demonstration thing, so just hang with me. It's my first time. I will, however, say I'm a little bit unhappy with the quality of this here lettuce that I bought literally yesterday at Aldi's. Look, it's a little bit nasty. So I'm just going to do a couple swipes of this. I might actually switch this out for romaine because I have some fresher romaine. Let's pull this off because, ew, see? No, I don't even want to cut that. Let's peel that layer off. I don't know if it's rotten or if it's just defective looking. Okay, no, we're going to throw this out, guys. All right, guys, so we're going to garnish our enchiladas in the end with shredded lettuce. You guys will notice that I have switched the lettuce out from iceberg to romaine. I just bought that iceberg lettuce yesterday at Aldi's, and I'm a little disappointed here in my garbage bag. It's like rotten inside, so iceberg lettuce is the correct kind of lettuce to use for the garnish, but fresh romaine is better than rotten iceberg in any case. So this is a little dangerous for me to be doing this on camera with one hand, so I'm just going to try to do a swipe, especially because romaine is much leafier than iceberg. I'm a little bit just scared that I'm going to cut myself, so yeah, that's not going to work out. Let me go ahead and shred this using the mandolin, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, for sake of honesty, this does shred very well. It shreds a nice 2mm dainty shred, but this is not the right kind of lettuce to shred on this mandolin. So if you're using it for shredding iceberg or cabbage, I'm sure it would work great, but I'm just going to go ahead and proceed to chop this with my knife, and I'll keep it in here for serving because it is nice and convenient. It does come with like a lot of stuff, so this is just that top insert, which I'm going to wash. This actually, I figured it out. I think it's a citrus juicer. Now I'm going to turn this down just to a light simmer. And let me put the timer for 5 minutes. And then here's the top of mandolin. And then I really like this about it, you guys. It comes with this little organizer for the blades, which is great. And then this is just a strainer. So that's it for our demonstration of this here chop box. You can, again, check below in the description for a link to the product. I'm not going to go ahead and plug their name or the name of their store or anything like that because this was a demonstration. And anyways, moving back onto our recipe, let me shred this up, and it's about time to start making our enchilada sauce. All right, guys, so let's just talk really quickly about our chiles. So as I mentioned, we're using guajillo and ancho. These are the guajillo. They are a dark ruby red in color. They are dried, and we want to remove the stems, the seeds, and the ribs from inside because obviously you don't want to eat a stem. The ribs of the inside are supposedly bitter, and then the seeds, I mean, technically, I'm sure you could eat them. Like, if you leave a couple in, it's not going to kill you, but you just remove them. Same thing with these, same properties. Remove the stem, remove the seeds, and remove the ribs inside of them. I'm going to go ahead and simmer these in hot water afterwards, so I'm going to cut them up into small strips. I'm going to do all of this using scissors, and then I'm going to go ahead and just peel these 2 cloves of garlic. So give me a moment, and I'll show you what this looks like. You guys, I made a boo-boo. I got overly excited and I put them into the water. What I meant to show you was after you peel them and you have them whole and they're de-seeded, you want to toast them on the comal. And you want to toast them for like 3 or 4 seconds on either side just until they start getting fragrant. And you want to be very careful because you can burn them. Excuse me. This adds extra flavor, a little bit extra toastiness. And it's really unfortunate that I forgot to do it, but it's not going to ruin it. They're in there. I'm not going to peel another 8 chiles because I'm just not going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to steep our peppers. I have them in warm water right now. We're going to simmer them for about 5 to 10 minutes and then let them sit in there for like another 10 minutes, so about 20 minutes total, or until the skins are soft. All right, guys, so these have been simmering and they look like they're about ready to turn off. As you can see, the skins are looking soft, so I'm going to go ahead and let this steep for another 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I crumbled up my cotija cheese. And I went ahead and added a teaspoon of Norsuiza to my blender cup, the two cloves of garlic, half of a teaspoon of oregano, and about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And after our peppers are done steeping, our chiles, we're going to add them to this blender with about a cup of the water and blend it up. So I'll be back when we're ready to do that. So I went ahead and I removed our peppers. I reserved 1 cup of the boiling liquid, which I put in the bottom. And I have seen multiple recipes where people use clean water. That's totally up to you. I just figure it's kind of like you're making tea and you wouldn't throw the tea out. So, I mean, it just adds extra flavor of the chiles to it. So I've got 1 cup of the liquid and then the rest of the drained peppers. And then to recap, we've got 2 cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of Norsuiza, half teaspoon of oregano, and about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper in here. I'm going to go ahead and blend this up, and then we're going to take a look at it and see if we need to run it through a fine mesh strainer. All right, guys, it's a little bit hard for you to see. I just wanted to show you, we're not going to have to run it through a mesh sieve, but it is a little bit thick. So I'm going to add about a half a cup more water and run this for another minute or so on the NutriBullet. And then we are going to transfer this to our saucepan and let it simmer while we fry our tortillas. All right, guys, I wanted to show you what the consistency of our sauce looks like. So this is our enchilada sauce. It's thick enough to coat a spoon, but it runs through the slots pretty well. You don't want it to be watery, but you don't also want it to be really thick like a paste like you'd use, because like, I don't know, the only thing I can compare it to is when I make pozole, the chile is a lot thicker, but that's because you're putting it into the soup broth and it thins it out. So this is good. I'm going to go ahead and put this on low heat and let this simmer so that the garlic cooks through. We might have to add some more water to it as we go, but that's totally fine. And I did want to mention, this is my tip of the day. When it's a little bit thick, dump it out into the pan and then use the water to rinse out the cup to get all of that extra chile that's left in there because you made it, so you don't want to waste it. And then right now we can taste it for salt too. Needs a little bit more salt. I am going to add maybe about another half of a teaspoon of Norsuiza to it, but you could use regular salt. And then another trick is sometimes if your chiles are a little bit bitter, you can add a pinch of sugar, just a pinch, and it helps cut the acid of the sauce. So I may or may not do that after I add the salt. Next thing I'm going to do, sorry guys, I'm a little distracted, is get a small frying pan just like this. I'm going to put not even a 1/4 inch of oil, just to coat the bottom of the pan deep enough so I can fry our tortillas and start heating it over medium-high heat. All right, guys, so we are all set up here. I just wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see the light reflection in the oil. That's how you know that it's ready, is when the oil starts shimmering on the top layer. That's how you know that it's hot enough. So I am going to go ahead and start frying off our tortillas. I'm going to do probably 4 for Daniel and 2 or 3 for me. So I'm going to put Olivia back up and frying, honey. Yeah. And then we are just going to fry these briefly for about 5 to 10 seconds on each side. You're not trying to actually crisp them up. You are just trying to, ooh, that was not long enough. You're just trying to kind of give them like a little bit of layer of protection so that you can dip it in the sauce and roll them up without them falling apart. I've seen many recipes where people actually dip them in the sauce and then they fry them in oil, and I have tried to do that on many occasions and gotten very upset because they fall apart. I don't know if it's just the type of tortillas that we have available here in the Chicagoland area. We always use El Milagro. That's pretty much what everybody uses around here, and they're great quality tortillas. But for some reason, in my kitchen, they don't hold up to the dipping in the sauce and then deep frying. So, there we go. It should just be stiff enough to, when you flip it over, not wrinkle like the first one did. And not crispy. I don't really know how to explain it. You just got to kind of get a feel for it. Not crispy, but definitely cooked. So you're not looking for like a fried tostada. You're looking for just a cooked tortilla. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. That's how you guys can figure it out. It's about 10 seconds on each side. I hope that helps. Go ahead and drain them on a paper towel. I'm going to run through the rest of these tortillas. This is going to get turned up a little bit because I want this to actually simmer a little bit more. And then you'll notice I've got my potatoes sitting here. We're about to work with those in just a moment. Okay, so I've got my tortillas over here. Draining off. And then in the same pan with the remaining oil, which was probably about 2 tablespoons of oil, I went ahead and I tossed in as much as I could fit of... Oops, and I turned the flame down on accident. Of our oil, and I did that off camera because of safety reasons. And what we're going to do now is take about a 1/4 cup of the salsa, and we're going to put it in here, and we're going to kind of fry the enchilada sauce with the veggies so they get a little flavor before we top the enchiladas with them. Give me a moment to get that transferred and get these fried up, and then we're ready to start assembling our enchiladas. Alright guys, you're going to have to bear with me because the girls are in the background and they're not good at listening about being quiet. So, I've got my little assembly station here. Don't touch that drill. And here I have my enchilada sauce. I've got my fried tortilla stacked up. I've got my cheese and my onion, which is our filling. We've got our lettuce, which will be a topping. And then I've got my carrots and my potatoes over here. And I did want to mention, that's why we kind of, not parboiled them, but we boiled them almost tender crisp. Because you're going to be frying them up later, and you don't want it to turn into mashed potatoes. So this looks great. I'm going to attempt to show you how to assemble this on camera with one hand, but I don't know how it's going to go. So you just might have to take my word for it. So what you're going to do is take your tortilla, and you're going to dip it, and get it nice and juicy. And then you're going to put it right on your plate, and it doesn't matter that that little part is not dipped. Because that's going to be on the inside. So, which means I flipped it the wrong way. So let's just turn the plate. We're going to take a little bit of cheese, put it right down the middle, a little bit of onions, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll this up. And I cannot do that with one hand. So let me get Daniel's plate ready with 4 of these, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so it's starting to come together. So here are Daniel's 4 enchiladas, and I just want to explain something extra that I do that you don't have to, but we don't like to eat cold food in our house, and the tortillas have cooled, the sauce is hot, but all the fillings and toppings are pretty much cold. So being that the cheese and the onions are cold, I like to nuke them. Sorry, my kitchen's a little bit of a mess right now. I'm doing a project for about 30 seconds, just to kind of reheat up the filling and the tortillas nice and hot before we garnish it. After that, I'm going to put the potatoes and carrots, a little bit of extra onion and our lettuce on top, and it'll be ready to go. Alright, so as you can see, it's nice and hot. I went ahead and added our potatoes and carrots. Next thing I'm going to do is take some of our shredded lettuce. That's not a shredded piece. Right down the center of this. I like to just kind of keep it on the middle, then again, so that way it doesn't contribute to it getting too cold too fast. Daniel really likes onion, so I'm going to do another sprinkle of some raw chopped onion, and then more cheese. And I've seen a lot of people put radishes on the top of this. We just never do. So if you like radishes, you can do that. You could make these vegan by totally skipping the cheese or using vegan cheese, and actually filling the enchiladas with the potatoes and carrots. I gotta put my phone on the charger. I'm gonna go ahead and get us set up for dinner and take a photo, and we'll be back with a taste test. Alright guys, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna have to make this a short finish because my phone is about to die. We've got our enchiladas ready to go. Daniel is already digging in, and let's see if he likes it.
They're pretty good. I like them.
It's a big bite.
I like this.
Good?
Really good.
Alright guys,
Love them.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. 1 second, Olivia. You can say bye in 1 second. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this video, through my first product demo. You can go ahead and leave a comment, yay or nay, you liked that or you didn't like that. Thought I would try something new. I hope you enjoyed this recipe on how I make authentic Enchiladas Rojos, Estilo Michoacan. And if you liked it, go ahead and give my video a thumbs up. And if you loved it, please subscribe. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a good night.
Mommy, thank you for this food.
You're welcome, Olivia.
I like it.
And I like you.
But after, in the morning time, we didn't do that.
Oh, your project? Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Can you just say bye to everybody, Olivia? Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Fifi. Fifi's in the bathroom, guys.